Hey, how you doing? This is Earl Alex, and you know what this is. If you don't, this is Black Arizona, and we are going to introduce you to the people from our community that help to push our community and culture forward. Look, today, I want to introduce you to a dope individual that I got to know who has been giving us insights and tips, and we've been talking to and just getting to know better. But really, what he's been doing is he's really been kind of sharing his expertise and his knowledge in the game when it comes to creating content, putting it out, getting it to the people, and making that something that can actually be a profitable venture, something you could sustain yourself on, which a lot of people is still in the midst of trying to do, even at the highest level. So it's great to get his insight, to speak to the brother a lot. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to him so he can introduce himself. And when you do, my man, be sure to let them know about how they can connect with you. He's an artist, so how they can connect with your music, and then also on social media and everything like that, everything, you know, how they can just get in touch with you.
Absolutely. All right, my name's Mr. East, and I'm here in Arizona. I'm a producer as well as a content creator because, you know, nowadays you have to be a content creator. All of my content and everything is orange themed. I'm really orange obsessed, and I think that just helps spark my creativity, giving everything, you know, orange flavor. Um, the main thing about everyone in their content is consistency. That's what I see a lot of people lack is consistency. And that's really what gets you over those hurdles. If you're consistent, then you have a body of work over time. If you're, you know, the last time you posted was, you know, right before the pandemic, 2019, then there's no proof of concept. There's no proof of your worth. You know, that might have been good, but things are always rapidly evolving and changing. You know, back in 2020, when reels and things were new, you got a lot more reach and a lot more engagement. Nowadays, it's a little limited. Then they're also trying to do different things with Meta, where they're pushing subscription-based reach. So it's the ball game has changed a lot, but consistency is always key, you know?
Nice. So how did they connect with you on social media? Like, what is it? I know it's Mr. East.
Mr. underscore East underscore official. That's MR underscore EAST underscore official. And that's me on Instagram, and on Facebook, you can find me as East Beats. That's EAST BEATZ. And just look for the orange stuff. Like it's not really that hard to find.
Nah.
And really I post pretty much daily. You know, that's I try to be consistent. I try not to preach consistency and not do it myself. You know?
100%.
So if you see any of my orange videos in your Facebook group, just know that's just me being consistent.
Yeah. I will say that as a content creator, it has been difficult to be consistent. It is kind of the toughest part. Like, creating it is fun, right? You know, we get into this mode, or some people get into a flow state where they can churn out the content, boom, boom, boom. But then going fully through the process of making it, you know, putting it out, organizing it, documenting it correctly, however it needs to be, following back up on it, looking at the metrics and doing all that, you know, a lot of those parts aren't as fun to creatives. And for me, it has been tough to get into that position where each part has its place where I'm like, okay, I want to do that because I know that's going to add to a betterment of my career, of my artistry, of what I'm really trying to do. So how has it been in your journey towards consistency, since you were speaking about that being the key thing?
The main thing that I try to keep myself consistent is to make things easier. You know, I don't try to overcomplicate things, and you know, it's all cool. You know, you have a lot of equipment, but sometimes all of that equipment can be daunting because now you have to export it. Now you have to edit it on your computer. Then you have to export that back out. It's a whole egregious process, you know? And to make it easier, I do a lot of my content on my phone. You know, I have an Osmo Pocket 3, which is also a little easier, but even that's sometimes a little much. So I try to do majority of my content on my phone, and that includes filming it and editing it. Because I have a whole super camera, a super computer right in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I try to utilize that so that it's like in this day and age, everyone wants an organic feel. So all of the super over edited stuff isn't always received as well as you would think it would be.
Oh.
So when it's more organic and quick and feels, like they could have done it themselves, it kind of resonates more with people. So your phone is like your secret weapon these days. Just use it, edit it, and be consistent. There's really no excuse. You can wake up in the morning and film yourself yawning, and that's a piece of content. You just have to. You can put a nice little song to it, and that's content.
But you know what I'm saying? I was gonna, throw some Michael Bay car explosions behind us in this episode and everything. I thought we had to do all of that just to get the attention, right? We got to do all that, right?
I mean, you can get to a point there eventually, because as you build, things become easier for you. And then now the things that took you maybe an hour to do can take you 10 minutes. So now you have time that you can add your car explosions eventually after it becomes
second nature
to you. Exactly.
So what I hear you saying actually is like, look, first get your process down, make your process work for you. Simplify your process to where it's like second nature, and then add on those bells and whistles that would take more time because you got the core of it together. I mean, that's something that we've actually been trying to do. I feel like that's actually done through iteration.
Absolutely.
It's like first you start making the content, then you got to keep making the content to find out, oh, okay, I guess I can cut time here. I was tripping on that thought there. I don't even need to do that. I need to do this here.
Absolutely.
And then find your lane, your path, your unique, execution mode, Yeah.
And that's really it, and it's like, I know a lot of us strive for perfection, but that's no one's perfect. So you can't be perfect in this world and do that. It's those imperfections that really resonate with people because people feel imperfect. If you notice, a lot of the viral reels are things with negative captions, negative captions that pull you in. No, you can't do this, and that's what grabs you in because it's like imperfections are what resonates with us that we want to see more of. So it's okay to be different. It's okay to not be perfect. People want to see that incline. They want to see you start somewhere. They don't just want you to be perfect straight out the rip because that's not realistic.
Heck yeah. And honestly, that means that they can relate more to your imperfection through theirs too. Like we are all imperfect in a way, shape, or form. And if I come through like this infallible being with all the edits and all the things I could layer on top of it, it's going to be very hard for my audience or fan base to say, dang, I can relate to that because I got imperfections in myself. I think that is good for people to harness so that they can have less scrutiny on themselves as they're making and creating the content. But that's just with the creation process. What a lot of people kind of stress about too, not just on consistency, but also when it comes to then the administration and getting it together to where it actually makes sense for them to continue on. So some people are consistent for a good long time, but they don't reap from it. They can't seem to make sense of why, well, not why, but
make it
why continue. Yeah.
Off of their passions. I understand that. My thing with that is, one, the consistency. You're gonna naturally grow a fan base and people who are gonna look to see you and engage with your content. But while you're doing that, you can reach monetization status with the actual social media platforms themselves, but they have requirements, and you have to research the requirements that it takes to get there, one. And then two, you can also create products, in your journey that They don't have to be expensive products. It's not trying to make you a millionaire overnight, but it's giving people who engage and like you some way to support you monetarily, and this is something that you guys can do to, monetize before you're like monetized, where you're getting paid for your views and things like that. You can make a little plushie of yourself. You can
Yeah.
have a cool invisible ink pen, who knows, but make it cool and just something that it's a low cost that people can say, hey, I can spend $5 with you to support you, besides just your music, because music is a very iffy thing as well, because you can have the greatest music, but not everybody's gonna like your music.
Yeah.
So
I find that people are actually looking for uniqueness in where they throw their dollars to. Like, yeah, this dude, oh, okay, Coca-Cola got a soda, but see, this soda here I made, this my soda, right? And they know me, they can speak to me, they can see me, I'm here at eye level, you know what I mean? And so that mixed with the fact that it's different, it's not just the same old, that right there already gives you the leg up already. So if you are an artist and you have the opportunity to make a product or find something that goes along with your artistry, with your brand, that's something that's in line with you, then yeah, actually that's a leg up right there. Like even if it's partnering with somebody else and their product, that can really help.
absolutely.
I've seen people do that. I've seen many artists around me, whether rappers, singers, I've seen them partner with different brands, even local, like, Bud brands. I remember when my homie Bougie partnered with Splitterillo, and then that really helped him go. So that was dope. He partnered with a cigar brand that really helped out. And that was just dope, just dope to see. But thinking about how you can expand yourself without losing your base, I think is really a good tip and something to keep in mind, top of mind always. What are some of the best strategies when it's come to branding? I see you have color, which look like it's really helped. But then, what are some strategies that you've used to kind of help increase your brand and to solidify the identity of your brand?
Well, definitely, like I use color through the color orange, because that, when you see orange, you should be thinking of East. And let's see. As far as branding, it's really, colors are definitely a thing, because if you look at all of the top brands, they choose specific colors to evoke emotions. But it's consistency and feel and your overall message. Like once you kind of solidify what your message is going to be, then you can convey that through different mediums. The same message, but through different lenses. And you're just consistent with that. And then that makes that message your brand, or what people know you for, or know you to be, or be like, or dress like,
Yeah.
All of these things boil down to consistency, really. When someone sees you doing something repetitively, continuously, it's like, oh, okay, I see him do that all the time. Hey, he's a yellow shirt guy. He always wears his yellow shirt. Oh, I look for his content now. Oh, and then when you don't wear the yellow shirt, then they're like, what happened? So consistency and finding like a niche or a catch that is unique to you. I wear orange, my wife wears pink, you know. I have other friends, they're in the yellow. I even found a couple other color brothers that's in the green and other colors, and that's all they wear is just that color every single day.
Yeah.
And they use that to brand themselves and their music.
Yeah. I think that right there is like understanding what your brand is, sticking to that, and finding the things that your brand values to create that message is key. 100%. That's kind of what I pull from there. On top of that, when it comes to monetization, you said each platform has different criteria.
Absolutely.
And ones that you need to take into account. Is it that somebody should start with like a shotgun approach, just like try to attach them all, see what works? or should somebody like just pick one and stick on one and do that until it's profitable?
We'll really give you guys a little cheat code. Really, it's like you don't have to overthink your content, because really you can take the one same piece of content and regurgitate it to all the platforms, right? Another tip is make sure there's no watermarks from any of the other platforms that you're posting to the other platforms, because they're not gonna uh
Push it as
push it as much, because it's
so if you got the
promotes something else.
TikTok
Yeah.
that on your, and then you got the IG on your, when you download the videos, they be adding that.
Exactly.
And then you put that on YouTube, it'll be like,
Exactly. So they'll limit your reach.
Uh.
So that's one tip. But really, your original video, before there's any watermarks, that same video, whatever for the day or whatever day that you're posting, just post it to all of the different social media platforms.
yeah.
And you don't have to think about, oh, I gotta make all of this different content for this one over here. Just learn to use one piece of content multiple ways.
So,
You know?
so it can all be, it's, well, because somebody on one platform, even if you have them as friends or followers on another, may not see it on that one. Maybe they check the other one all the time,
Absolutely.
right? And so it's not just saying that you flooding, but you kind of do want to make sure it gets the maximum amount of exposure. Then I would think go back and look at the metrics, see where it is gaining the most traction, and put more fuel behind that with the same type of content,
Absolutely.
but don't put less content on the others.
Absolutely. And then after a while of you doing these type of things consistently, you can see on the other platforms, between each platform, what the people respond to better.
Yeah.
And then you can just tailor it a little bit to each platform, you know? TikTok might like a more talkative, organic feel. Instagram might like more of a quick, fast, flashy kind of feel. Facebook might want a more in-depth or funny type of feel. You know,
Yeah.
every platform wants something different, but you can only learn that through doing and seeing what people respond to your content with.
100%. So you heard it from the man, Mr. East, right there. And with your business, Orange, what
Orange Tree Promotions.
Orange Tree Promotions. You've worked with clients in multiple different states across the nation. And tell me how has been kind of like sharing and giving consultation with different businesses, like and helping them to bootstrap their, you know, content creation or social media journey and presence.
It's been very fulfilling, and it's also had its frustrating moments, because, you know, in certain situations, everyone's a chief, you know? So telling someone and guiding someone how to do their thing, sometimes there can be conflict. But for the most part, I've had good experiences with people where I'm able to help them and they're able to reach their monetization goals. They're able to brand themselves. And once, you know, they kind of see how I'm doing things, they're able to continue it for themselves, because it's not hard. It's just taking a little bit of effort, and my main thing, consistency. And that's it. So
if you stick to it and do it, it'll work out the way it should, as well as have your flair, have your flavor, keep it right, keep it tight. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you heard my man, Orange Tree Promotions,
yes, sir.
and that's his business. He helps people to market, get their content together. At the same time, you not only do that, you're an artist. I mentioned earlier that you are an artist, and
Yes.
you've made music, and you've made music with others.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how it's been juggling, you know what I'm saying, being an entrepreneur, helping people with content and your music. And then where is it that you find time to be a content creator and then also an artist? Which one pulls at you more? Tell me about that balance.
Okay, so little backstory about me. I moved to Atlanta after college, and I spent 11 years in Atlanta. And while I was in Atlanta, I got to meet a lot of the industry and work with a lot of people in the industry and up and coming people and behind the scenes people, just all walks of life that are in the industry. And in that time, I'm a producer by, like, first and foremost, before I'm an artist or anything, I'm a producer. So I make beats and I make music. So, and me becoming an artist, you reference songs as a producer to different artists, and some get picked up, some don't. So I've accumulated a lot of music over the past 20 years. And what I've been doing in these last, I say, after the pandemic, I've been putting together all of my unfinished music and finishing and putting it under myself. So it's like I have great songs, so I've just been putting it together, finding other artists from Atlanta and across the US and across the country, really, in Barbados, different countries. So I've just been Frankensteining everything together and putting it out there, because it's like, why is it gonna sit on my computer when I can put it out there and I could possibly turn a profit and make something beautiful for people to enjoy. Um, you can look me up on Spotify. It's a MR period EA $T, and you'll see the orange stuff again.
Mhm.
And but I have some really dope songs because I produce stuff from R&B style stuff to rap stuff to reggae stuff, Afro beats. So I do a
Quite a
lot
bit
of
of-
genres.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. And that's why if shameless plug, if you've tuned into another podcast that I host sometimes called Song Lab Live, then you'll see my man there too, honestly. So that's because music, for one, is prevalent in our culture, but it's something that is something we can create from the mind and then turn it to profit, make it valuable. And when I speak to my man, he holds that in high regard and high reverence. And I like the fact that he's creative in all these areas, and that's where we connect. So honestly, hearing about him and seeing him go to Song Lab Live and be able to take a part of that experience, work at an event with dope dope artists that were there, it was just dope to hear about, dope to catch wind of. Now, you do the artistry, you help business with their marketing, their promotions, looking right, keeping it together. Give me a little bit of insight of what else you do, my man. What else you want? Because you said the IT stuff, and
Yeah.
there's more.
Okay.
You was about to help us.
Yeah.
Computer and get things together.
Just being growing up in this world, you have to wear a lot of hats. So I went to school for help desk services, and pretty much I troubleshoot computer problems and fix computer issues for people. And that's another one of the businesses I run, because I pride myself on integrity and being reliable and consistent.
Mhm.
So people know that they can call me and I'm going to fix the issue in a fast and timely manner. And that's my other business, Mr. Fix It Now. So that's just my IT business. I do that because it's like I'm able to help all different types of people, from people doing studio stuff, because everyone who is in the studio is on a computer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you need your stuff working right or you can't make money. And there's also people who need things for clerical issues, and I just fix people's issues. I do remote access, and I've been very fortunate because I'm able to be anywhere in the world if I want sometimes and still able to help people.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's dope. Look, thank you very much for talking to the people, letting them know about what you do and giving them tips on what they can do if they want to create content and make their content effective like yours has been. And also for sharing your story and your journey and everything that well, not really everything. We didn't exhaust it all, but thank you for sharing what you did about what it took to get you to where you're at. Honestly, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for joining us here at Black Arizona Podcast, where we are here at the Culture Hub in Phoenix, Arizona. We are very thankful for them allowing us to use their space. If you are in Arizona, we do a lot out of here. We network, we do business out of here. It's a great co-working space, Black-owned co-working space in Arizona. So we support that and we love that. Now, go ahead, before we go, let people know how they can connect with you and your social medias, and say they want to get a hold of your service. So share with them your website and everything.
All right. So I'll give you guys my Instagram. It's MR_EAST_official. That's my Instagram. Same for TikTok. and as well as YouTube. My Facebook is East Beats. That's EASTBEATZ. And if you want to get in contact with me, shoot me an email. That's Mr. East Bookings with the S. That's MREASTBOOKINGS @gmail.com. And send me a shout and see how I can help you, or we can collab on something. And I'm always here to help, man, with a positive heart. And I like to get the job done.
100%. Getting the job done. 2024 and more and beyond. All that. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with more and more interesting people on the Black Arizona podcast. Let's rock.